Hey y'all, so excited to be here. I cannot wait until you get to hear from Brandi Mitchell. But y'all, in good order, I am going to start us off right. Just a little bit about Brandi.
I'm brand producer Brandi Mitchell, and I want to teach you how to produce your own brand. I'm the owner, producer, and director of Chorus Media, a content and media production company in the new Hollywood South, Atlanta. We have been successfully telling the stories of brands, companies, entrepreneurs, and cultural icons for more than 10 years. As a brand producer, I have a very signature way of helping entrepreneurs and leaders get their message out on video and through content that helps them to monetize their message and connect with their audience. And I'd love to help you do the same. Did you know that 84% of consumers have bought something after watching a video? Almost 50% of web users look at a video before visiting a store, and 8 out of 10 views online are video. What this means is that any entrepreneur, leader, content creator, coach, consultant, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're not providing video and staying connected through content people can easily consume, no matter how great you are at what you do, your potential clients are not watching you. They're watching your competitors that are using video. But it's not just showing up and making a video. It's about having a strategy for taking that video from a click to a connection to a client. People are craving real connection. They want real stories, real solutions, and they really want to see behind the scenes of what you're doing in your business. That's how they're deciding if they actually want to do business with you and if they really actually like, know, and trust you.
Hey, that was so awesome. Let me just see here, getting back to the business. Y'all, we are here with Brandi Mitchell. She is a brand producer. She is the founder of Brandumentary and also a business owner of Course Media. Brandi, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello. Hello, Melissa. How are you?
I'm doing great and even better now that you're here. So I cannot wait to share with people what you are all about because the work that you do and your gifts that you contribute to this world on a regular basis is absolutely outstanding and very stunning. So Brandi, just share with us a little bit about, I know a few things. I've seen your movies that you produced. I've seen your what we call the icons that you produce. I've seen it for myself, but I want to hear it from you. Tell the people what you do on a regular basis.
So I turn my lens and my camera on, I call them iconic people. They're people who are meant to go to the stage. They're meant to make impact in the world. Thought leaders, coaches, consultants, leaders that really are about making very big impact in the world and connecting with people. And so I'm kind of like the secret sauce behind the scenes, helping to shape and helping to tell their story through video, through film, through content, helping them to just completely become a category of one. And it's just something I'm really passionate about. It's like I really understand that there are all these brilliant people who sometimes if they're not positioned the right way, and especially with the medium of film and video, it's so powerful that if they can connect their story and their message and their passion and show up authentically through this medium, which, whether it's a smartphone or if it's a computer screen or it's, them actually premiering it at an event, I know that that's the thing that's going to completely make them memorable to their audience. And so that's what I love to do.
I love it because not only do you love to do it, but you are pretty darn good at it. Like for real, for real. And you know what, y'all, this is where I came. I mean, Brandi, I've known her for so long. Brandi Mitchell, she's always been that producer. She's always had an eye to create magic when it comes to telling a story. And so that's why I had to make sure that she stopped by to serve you giants, because giants are already highly educated, multi-layered, multi-talented. And oftentimes for a giant, it's hard to package that beautifulness up and really be able to be positioned in a really positive way. So Brandi, talk to me about what do you see are like some of the challenges when someone is not really, I guess challenges, let me just say this. We're talking about giants. And we're talking about folks that are doing great things in the world, but they're not getting the traction. They're not getting the clients that they know they deserve. They've done the work, they have their business, but they just feel like there should be more for them, and yet is not connecting. So talk to me about, some of the struggles that you've experienced of these folks that are iconic, and then you don't put them all the way on the map. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so what I found is people that are iconic usually are perfectionists. They have their head down in the work, right? They're all about, let me serve my people, right? They actually are not thinking about putting themselves oftentimes in the front. They sometimes don't even know how to talk about what it is that they do. They don't know how to articulate it or get in front of a camera and start showing up. It's really about showing up. So even though they're really passionate, sometimes they will get looked over just because the person who is kind of like insta famous, they package themselves really well, right?
Yes.
But they have like not as much credibility, not as much knowledge, not as much experience. Then the giant that's sitting over there, that's sitting on all of the goods, all of the talent, all of the
goods. Yes, yes.
It's like not showing up. So they don't even, you have to show up so people can visibly see you and see that you're their solution. It's about how do you position yourself so that people can even hear your voice. And right now with the internet and video and people, it's just so much, we're so distracted.
Right.
The giants have to take authority in that area. It's no longer negotiable. It's like they have to begin showing up. They have to start having consistent conversations with people. They have to present themselves as people's solution. They can no longer say, okay, well, I do my work, and people will tell people you can't. It's not. We're just not in that society. We can do that anymore. So to me, my mission is about these people that have these powerful messages, and you've already known they put in the work, that they start focusing in on this element, which is sharing their story often and frequently, right? Because sharing their story and really even understanding parts of their journey and how relevant they are to their mission is going to be the thing that attracts all the clients to them. So the goal is to really embrace that, like you embrace everything else about your business, the sales, the marketing, every other part, every other line item on your business. You got to take this portion, which is telling your story intentionally, showing up.
Yes.
And really honing in and just saying, okay, this is who I am, and really calling those people in that you're meant to serve.
I love that. We were talking about, and we were going to talk about, the importance of sharing your story. Like you said, folks are just from a genuine place, serving people, head down, doing the work. But oftentimes people hide from their story, like they don't step into it. And what I've seen as a result of looking at your work, oh my goodness, like you turn that story on its head. You make it so that it's so connecting to their audience. So talk to me about the importance of the story and what are the key things that need to be in a story in order to be iconic.
Yeah, so you have to look at, oftentimes what I'll tell people, like when I'm brainstorming with them, I will have them literally sequentially look at their life. Like really, you have to look at your life, because your life is actually a really great indicator of how you became who you are. And so I look at each one of they're usually key moments that made you who you are. And it's almost like, imagine that your life is a movie, and each one of those pivotal moments are like chapters or say episodes. So the first thing you have to do is like really look at and recall. And they're usually stories you tell other people, like people you're close to. I remember when key moments in your life that you say, I remember when this happened, this happened. And if you look back and you connect those stories and you think about what you're doing now, you will start to see how each one of those stories can tee up with certain elements inside of your business that when you talk about it, it makes you extremely relatable. So you have to, first of all, I always suggest that people literally walk back through your life. Think about the stories that you talk about or things that resonate with you. After you do that, think about, okay, now what was the key message that kind of shaped one of the pillars of who I am inside of that? What was that? And then look and see how you can tie that in. So for example, I'll give an example, right? A lot of people that know me know that I'm like heavy into the whole music. It was a big part of my life, right? Music, performance, all of that.
Motown, yes,
all of that, right?
Yes.
Marching band, all of that. How does that tie into who I am now? Well, I tell the story, me personally, I tell the story about the perseverance and the resilience I had to make it in my marching band. And the fact that although I was the underdog coming from Detroit, it was that whole tenacity of never give up, never let them see you sweat. And I will often tell that story when I'm talking to, like when I'm speaking, because what it signifies to the audience is resilience. She's driven. If she is somebody that can stick to something, she probably will be that for me as well, right? But me painting the story and bringing them in, I have people come up to me all the time. They remember key elements of my story. It connects me with them, and it makes you memorable. So when you start, you have to become memorable. The key is, how do you differentiate yourself from the gazillions of people out here, right? It's about what are the different parts of your story that you know is going to connect with other people and make them like fall in love with you.
Well, this is the thing though, Brandi. I feel like you have a good eye of knowing what really connects people because, kind of what you're saying is that people have to reintroduce themselves to themselves.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we're just walking through life. We do what we do. But as giants, like we don't even remember like the first half of our lives a lot of times, or some of us are trying to forget because that's kind of what made us who we are, resilient, tenacious, having compassion and empathy for others because of the things that we had to overcome. Right. And so when you're saying, well, go back on your life, go to the past, you'll get your nuggets there. It's time to just sit down and fully embrace yourself. Live Rich, Red Wealth, all about embracing all of who you are. And I love when you're talking about this because you're saying the gold is in all of who you are. Yeah. That's where your uniqueness resides. Don't they say the money resides?
The money resides, honey.
The money resides. It's looking at your uniqueness and really knowing how to tell that story so it really connects with people. And I love that. The other thing that I love about what you're saying is that you don't have to be anyone different. You just have to lean into you.
Absolutely. I like it's a phrase that you use that I just always remember when you talk about your fingerprint, like being an individual. That's what your story is. Like you start really thinking about those key nuggets. Yeah. When I say I'm a Detroit girl, I got 3 generations of Ford people in my family. Like there's certain things that are going to appeal that person that might have been on the fence between me and somebody else is like, I identify with her. There's you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So often we're, people unfortunately are trying to be someone else versus understanding that when you lock in to the best parts of you, to the hills and the valleys, when you lock into that and you using your word unapologetically.
That's right.
You share that. Yes. Guess what? Your audience will self-select to work with you. There's no convincing. There's no convincing, right? It's like it's a relationship. Our end goal is that we want to build relationship with people. How do you build relationship with people? They get to know you.
That's right.
right?
That's right. That's
So
right.
that when you know are transparent enough, whether it is something that was hard for you or not, you
Right.
know, you're transparent enough about it. People are like, I get them. I trust them, you know.
Yes.
And that's really ultimately what you want when you start talking about the clients that you want to attract, because you want to work with people that you want to draw people that you actually really want to work with. I know I do. They're people that I want to cultivate a relationship with. When I'm producing and directing, these people, I have to fall in love with their message and what
Yeah.
they want to do. Right? I
Yeah.
gotta want it as much as they want it. That's
Right.
how I'm able to articulate it on film, because I'm like, man, I get it. Like Melissa is one of the baddest. Like when it comes to abundance, the abundance mindset, it's nobody that can get with her. Right? I know you. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, her story has to be told this way, and then I'm going to keep speaking it to you until you say it that way.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like your skills on producing, and when you come from that authentic, high integrity, very connected way, I mean, all the clients that I've seen of yours have like skyrocketed because they are showing their best selves. They are embracing everything about themselves. You know, honestly, I love what you're doing, and I also appreciate when someone does embrace all of themselves and then has you to work with, because they are freeing themselves. There are no limits. They're being unapologetic, like, this is who I am. And that what really helps, because I'm all about that humanity conversation, is that people truly connect because you're being authentic, you're being transparent. So in your videos and in the production, it shows exactly who you are. And then people lean in and say, oh, I want to do business with them. And to your point, Brandi, then there's the relationships. You're building relationships with people that you truly, really adore. Really, like honestly, like it's a great match made in heaven that's on earth. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
so what are some of the challenges that people have? You know, because this is really great and it's actually very powerful. And what I have noticed is that the more powerful it is the more people can potentially shrink and be scared to step into it. So you, as this is your swim lane, this is what you do. What are the things that people oftentimes have to overcome in order to have this visibility, this connectivity, and all that?
Who am I? Who am I to step in front of the camera? Who am I to have people listen to me and watch me? Who am I to even consider myself an authority? It's a complete headspace of a question of worth. And sometimes people are okay with doing it on paper or in small groups. It's something about when the camera comes on. My job as a producer is to make you so comfortable that you talk to me like you and I are talking. I think that has been magic in terms of what I feel like God has blessed me to be, how I'm able to pull this out of people, because my job as a producer is to make you so comfortable that when you're talking, even though there's a camera on, you're locked in to that one person. So whether you're doing it with me or I'm training you to do it on your own, you're looking in that lens and you're talking to one person, versus even though it's other things involved with it, you don't get overwhelmed with the fact that it's a camera on you or that you're visibly speaking. So I think that as giants, the shrinking part, okay, do I have to put on makeup to do this? I don't know if I want to, but what do I have to wear? Or what am I supposed to say? I mean, you've been saying it for 50 million years, but for some reason, when this comes on, you're like, okay, what am I supposed to say? So I think eliminating the whole idea of who am I to do this, or the showing up part is really, the showing up part is really, I think, the thing that I see most often. People just, although they know the information, it's something about them feeling like when a camera is on, are they going to be able to articulate it, and who am I? So again, what I do to alleviate that is really get them in the space of who are they, being of service. Because when you put put the focus on other people, like understanding that when I'm talking, I'm doing this because I need to say these words. I need to show up because I need to draw these people in. Now it takes the focus off of you, how you feel, what you don't think you're capable of doing. It takes
Yes.
all the focus off of the fear and it places it all on service. So when you get in the mindset of serving the people and that, oh, I need to show up so that these people can hear my voice, it kind of eliminates the fear part, because fear is steeped, honestly, people don't realize this, but in ego. You're so conscious of yourself. Am I going to jack up? What are people going to think? You know, all those different things. How I flip that on its head, even for myself, is I think about who is in this room, who is on this computer screen that needs to hear in this room, who needs to hear what am I supposed to say, and who needs to hear it.
Right.
And then it changes the whole vibe.
Absolutely.
So really thinking about that video, film, you know, we do documentaries, just thinking about sharing this part of your journey, how it's going to help somebody else.
Right.
Really shifts the whole energy that comes with showing up, because that's the biggest thing that people do. They get afraid of showing up.
I love what you're saying, because at the end of the day, there's no perfection, period. So really realizing that is bigger than you, like plain and simple. Your story is your story for a reason. It's bigger than you. Your story is your story, but it is to share, to be of service to humanity in a very powerful and positive way. And you know, don't judge your story, stand on your story, right? And that's what I love about the way that you're able to capture it. It's like this cinematic, like it just plays out. Like, I mean, I've seen it over and over again, and I've actually been in the rooms when you're filming, and I tell you, it's like magic happens, because, you know, I feel like although it is sometimes scary and intimidating to be produced and in front of a camera, I see you have a very beautiful way of relaxing, of making the space seem safe, that they're able to basically just play in the space because you're coming together to create something to be of high service to others. So yes. I love it. What do you feel like for you? Like, tell us more about you. Like, how did you come to be this person, Brandi?
Crazy, right? So I'm gonna try and make it short. I started off in the beauty industry. And right out of college, I made a decision. Like, I got my degree in psychology, but I was very good in beauty. And so I said, how do I want to make people feel? Do I want to lay them on a couch and make them feel better? Or do I want to make them look amazing? I chose the latter, which was to go in the beauty industry, because I saw the immediate impact of people feeling better. Transformation, right? Yes. And very quickly, I saw that I wanted to do film, television. I wanted to do TV and film and work with celebrities. So I transitioned into that very quickly. And for 20 some odd years, I worked on set with A-listers, film, television, music videos, you name it. That was for 20
large concerts, large festivals.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yes. The whole thing.
Yeah. And so what happened is that as a makeup artist, you're constantly watching the monitor. This is what people don't understand. You're constantly watching your talent to make sure that everything is in place. You also have to know, you have a script there. You have to understand the production. You have to understand the lighting. One day, I got more interested in the production part. I was like, why is that camera doing that? Yeah. Why are they telling them to do this? I started paying attention to the production when I would take the notes and I would study the notes, like, okay, this is going to be useful one day. And so over time, what I didn't realize was that I was in my own training ground for something revolutionary. It wasn't anything that exists. I didn't go to a film school. I was literally learning on set production. And I worked in a boutique production company where I was in the development department. Development means that is the person who packages shows and movies to be sold.
Yes.
I got the idea, I wonder what will happen if you package somebody like a show.
Yes.
I started when I first started off with, I called it visual branding at the time. It's transitioning out of beauty. I was visually telling the story of people through their image, the top 2% authors, speakers, coaches, consultants. It just kept morphing. As an artist, I think as an artist and a creative, if you keep yourself open, it's going to keep morphing. So for me, I'm kind of unique because I have a 360-degree perspective when it comes to marketing, branding, storytelling, right? And I can make people look really good, right? Because the beauty right? So the attention to detail, when somebody comes on set, it's going to be like the bomb.
Yes.
I have the bedside manner because I had to work with celebrities for so many years. I was the first person that saw them and the last person that saw them and the person that cared for them. So if you think about all of those attributes and now bring it in a business owner, a coach, a consultant, an author, and saying, of course, that person is going to give that person the same type of care. It's because I did it for 20 plus years, albeit in different roles. I get it. I mean, I like really get it. So the ability to be able to take that person by the hand and say, come on, play big, get on stage.
Yes.
Let's show up.
You do. You push people. You push me a couple of times. And you have me really good, on stages and all front of everybody. You have done.
I believe the people that are like the bomb, like show up. Like all the way. I mean, I am so passionate about, like, I know that you just showing up with the right video, the right story, that is the difference between millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
A whole lot of clients. Like literally, like I got people, one promo video that I produce and like they're on stage at Google. Stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's stuff like that. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm so excited. Yeah, because this is the thing for those, and what I love is that, when we think of producing and stuff like that, we think of music, we think of movies, we think of all that. And you've done that now. But the thing is, you're contributing your gifts to business owners, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs. And I just love that that's like you're the go-to person for those that want to bring their stories alive and really tell the story from a perspective of it takes them on a journey. It takes them on a journey, and then they can actually see for themselves. The other thing, because I'm a little nerdy, is that where everything is going right now with, Facebook tripping and all these other things going on as far as paid advertisement and really having your credibility stacking out there on the internet, even if it's paid or not, having the kind of content that you're talking about, having those kind of videos, though, that's the gift that keeps on giving. You'll actually get more authority from the internet perspective, and that can lead to more opportunities, engagements, gigs, speaking in everything, you name it. It really is a game changer. And what you do, it doesn't go away. It's the gift that keeps on giving. That's what I really love about the work that you do. I just love the way that you produce. And so I would say, like, when does someone know that they're ready for that next step? Because we're talking about the top 1%. We're not talking about the person that just decided to put their sign on the door. We're talking about the person that has been in business, has got their basics, their infrastructure in. But what are the other things that allow someone to say, you know what, now is my time to step into my iconic role in my level of service to the world?
Yeah, I think that it's when you have a message. It's like really like yesterday. Like if you're the top 1%, it's non-negotiable. Like that's the first credential. If you're the top 1% and you do not fully have a whole video marketing strategy behind you, like it's past time for you to actually do it. Because especially when you understand you have a product, you have a service, or you're planning on launching something, to be able to have a very strategic, methodical way of streaming that out through showing more of you, that's the game changer. I mean, it's the ultimate. So I would say if you're the top 1% and you don't have, a full video marketing strategy, you have to get that. And really when I work with people, I really get in there and think about, okay, what is your plan? Because most 1%ers, they know exactly what they're doing all year long.
Yes, that's true.
Every quarter, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm partnering with them and hearing what it is that they're launching, what it is that they're doing, what it is that they want to achieve. And then we're backing that out and reverse engineering and creating the pieces that are going to help produce those results for them. So it's very strategic. It's not like just putting something on cutesy in a video. No, everything has a purpose and a meaning behind it. Everything is strategically put out at certain times to help you meet your goals, especially like if you have for some people, 1%ers can be in two different places. They either are, choosing to elevate, or they're sometimes rebranding. They're at the point where they're saying they're rebranding, they're showing people, allow me to reintroduce myself. They're kind of in that mode.
Yeah.
That's another time when you really know that you want a very strong produced whole little dossier of skills and content that help you to be able to do that, because it does a lot of the work for you. It's like basically once you do the video strategically, the way that we do it with Brandumentary, you don't have to do a whole lot of talking. The videos are doing.
Right.
I don't want to do a whole lot of talking. I like for you to be able to get to know who I am, and then you're calling me and you're booking, right?
And that's what it looks like.
That's what we want. That's what we all want as business owners, right? So the key is the strategy. The 1%ers already know what their year is going to look like. My goal is to partner with them and to produce and reverse engineer the things that are going to help them get to that goal. It's about creating the conversation and being able to shorten the like, no trust. We want to shorten that bug.
Yes.
We want it to take it shouldn't take, all these months. How can we shorten it by the content that we're putting out? Like people are like, boom, done. I always like to look at, we do a thing called Brandumentary, which is the story of your brand. And I always like documentaries, because documentaries, that's what Brandumentary is a documentary of what you do. Documentaries can change people's thought process in such a short window of time, right?
Yes.
That's what we're going for, because what we're trying to do is think about how can we connect with people in a very short window of time. What is it that we can do? What are the stories that we can tell that alleviates all of the, oh my God, it takes 50 years for you to make a decision? No, you should be able to see and get to know this person through the stories and the way that I'm connecting with you, and be able to really make a decision based off of that. And then we can shorten that whole curve. So I think that's how they know. If you're in the top 1%, it's past time, actually.
Right. I love that. And you know what? When you're saying this, I'm like, it's reminding me, like I have these clients, and there was a particular time where I was supporting them in doing their speaker reel, and doing that kind of thing. And what I loved about it, which is to your point, is before they even got on stage, they played their reel. And the reel was like larger than life, told a story. And then they got to come up on stage being the humble person that they are. And it's like the story told everything. They got a credibility immediately before they even opened their mouth, immediate credibility. And then when they came and they're like really cool people, like relatable, authentic, then it's a wrap. It's like, it's a done deal as far as them attracting people that really get them. So I'm just sharing this with y'all that are listening, especially right now and in the replay. I want to hear from you, because she is the real deal. I've seen her work over and over again in different genres, helping people that we know. All of us know some of the people she's supported. We're not going to name drop, but I've seen it for myself, the power of you giants getting out there and having your story digestible to the masses. And it doesn't tire you out because it's captured in a way that brings people into not only your story, but also into your business, into your life. And by the time you meet them, they pretty much feel they know you. And they do, because those sections of your life are already there and it's relatable. And you'll never know. Like sometimes I say, don't figure it out, work with Brandi, because sometimes we'll downplay some of the most things that make us the most unique. You know, we'll downplay, oh, that I remember what a long time ago, I was a millionaire by 31. And I would downplay it because I was like, that experience wasn't all that great. So I was like, it was fine. And people are like, what are you talking about? You need to tell people that. And so you need someone from the outside, a professional that can really look at all that you have going on from an objective perspective. Because Brandi, what I know is that you know what the world needs. I'm all about having that humanity conversation, but you are able to produce things that connect with the world. Doesn't mean it matter your background, where you're coming from, but there's some key things about humanity that when you produce what you do in your work and your artistry, when you support people, it just shines so bright. And as stuff as boring as business can be, you make it exciting. So everybody, for everybody that like, where can someone, I heard you say, like, kind of look at your life, get those key points and things like that. What are some other things that you can share with people as far as, what can they, like we talked about the content, when you say content, what do you mean? What do you really feel like is important for people to put at the forefront when they're looking to connect with others and build their impact?
Yeah, I think that, what we often don't know is that people want to see behind the scenes what we do. That's why we're always so, I don't know about you, but I love watching behind the scenes on TV like that, right? And if you can think about that people really respect what it is that you do. Like, we do so much of the magic of what we do behind closed doors that people don't see. But when you become very aware of your process and you start sharing more of that. So for example, I just came back from shooting like maybe 8 days in Miami with a client. And so, I was just by this beautiful water. I just simply took the camera and did a whole 360 with the water and the palm trees and some of the students that I was shooting, just so that they could get a feel. I didn't have to say much. I wanted them to get a feel of what I was doing and what that day actually looked like. That was much stronger than me making a post of it. I brought them into my world behind the scenes and they got a chance to see it. So sometimes we don't even think that what we're doing is like a big deal, right? But it is. So just getting in the mindset, the reason why we like reality shows, let's just be honest, is because the reality shows take you behind the scenes, seemingly, of people's world.
Yeah,
and that's right. Person that you're watching reality TV becomes in your mind a type of celebrity, right? Celebrated. You actually want to be like that with your clients. You want them to tune in to your show. That means that you have to consciously and intentionally think about what are those things that you do that you can share, the results that you've gotten with clients, client meetings. If you're creating something for them, you want to figure out how can you start incorporating those things so that people can see what you're doing behind the scenes. That's actually what they want to see. They want to see like, oh, wow. Well, I think it would be amazing to be, like doing a photo shoot, but like they actually start seeing themselves inside of your world.
Yes.
But they would never know that if you don't turn the camera on. So you have to.
It's a mystery, right? Like it is like a mystery as to.
We used to have this.
Go ahead.
What did you say?
No, I was just saying it's a mystery as to how do giants do what they do. It's not an overnight success. You know what I mean? So how do they become who they are? Like I'm thinking when you're talking, I'm taking my clients to Dubai in November. I should be like doing all the behind the scenes, like, oh, here I am. Like, I should be doing that. Yeah.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
the people want to see what people on Instagram, especially younger people on Instagram, have mastered.
Yeah.
They have mastered bringing you into their world. I don't know why at some point. So years ago, we used to think it was taboo to let people behind that gate. Remember, everything was so perfect.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Everything was so perfect. Then when social media came out, it removed that veil. Now everybody's like, well, shoot, we want to see what do you really like? You know, are you personal?
Right. What's
so
true?
we
What's
can't,
true? Yeah.
yeah, we cannot deny that world is here. It'll never go back the way it was. So we have to now just be intentional about the content being video, being pictures, showing things inside of your world. You know, you create, I teach people how to create these different category buckets of their lives that they actually want to share that align with their business and their missions. Very calculated. So what are these categories and these buckets that you want to share? Okay, now let's build out story around them. So now people see you as this travel guru. Oh my God, her family, she wants her child to be extremely travel and her child to be completely empowered. Okay, show that. Okay, like it's so many different elements.
That's really true. Like I should have taken everybody on all the Angelisa's trips.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
you know,
countries already. We should have been like roll up. You know, like
that's it. But that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so whether it's video or whether it's pictures, what you're doing is you're like with Live Rich, Spread Wealth. You take that movement. And you're saying, okay, what shows people my movement?
Yes.
Live, rich, spread wealth. And so when you're intentional and you start really thinking, I try and get people to also start thinking, producing, even though they're not calling it that, but just much more intentional about, okay, what is going on? Okay, how could I just thinking about from that documenting. That's why it's called Brandumentary, because it's about how do you document your life and your business so that it is shared, it sells for you, it connects, builds your tribe, and it shows your culture, like what you're all about. That way you're repelling the right people and you're attracting the right people. Because the wrong people are going to be like, I don't really get with I don't get with all of that. It's too much. Okay, fine. Goodbye for you. I don't want that. The right people are going to say, oh my God, I want that or I need that. And so now you're just being intentional. The content is about how am I more intentional about what I'm doing, showing who I am? Who do I want to show up as? Maybe I haven't been showing up as that person. Maybe I've been kind of downplaying that person for a while. But like, I didn't know that I had like this big, huge motivational part to me. I actually kind of motivational. Didn't really know that.
Yes. You're very motivational and very spiritual. So you're both of those.
So once I honed in on that, I was like, no, you know what? God is the focus, number one in my life. Like that's a huge part of my life. I have to I consciously live my life. Like he's a huge part of my life. He is my life. Okay. I'm just going to say that. Well, my hope is that I'm going to draw more people that, hey, they love him too.
They share your same values. They share your same values.
That's right. Yeah. This is culture. This is showing and walking out who you are intentionally.
Yeah.
And the payoff is huge. The payoff is huge.
Literally.
It's huge.
Yeah. And it is. And it's something that is available to everyone. I mean, so Barry, I know you have a school for this. I know you do Done For You. I mean, you got like her campus is all about that, bringing your story alive in a way that it connects strategically to your ideal clients, your ideal community. And I know like, it's like if someone wants to do themselves, you have a way to serve them. If they want you to do it personally, you have a way to serve them. How do people get in touch with you, Brandi Mitchell? I know you're crazy, so how do they connect with you?
It's so simple. BrandiMitchell.com. It's
All
easy.
right.
BRANDI Mitchell.com. You can hit me directly there. You can directly reach out to me there. I also have on my website where you can schedule a discovery call and we can have a conversation about it,
Yes. Yes.
about the right direction. Because again, some people want these things. Many of my clients want me to do it for them, but I
Yes.
also empower people in their teams and their teams to be able to like build an in-house kind of media team as well.
Right.
So
We're talking about that. I think that's so phenomenal because, I know that you can't be like 50 million places all at the same time. So I definitely have seen I've personally seen the work that you've done in people's, like you did it with them, for them. And then you were telling me about like, okay, because it's kind of hard for you to be with people 24/7 when they're really applying this in a very powerful way. So I love how you actually go into their businesses and teach their people how to sustain the brandumentary, methodology. So what does that look like? Does that take a long time? Like, what does that look like to really empower people's teams?
yeah, so the idea is to make people just first of all, very aware of how to tell story. And it's
Yeah.
might be hard, but it actually isn't. It isn't when you get the basic fundamentals of the way that we teach you. And so
Yes.
my goal is to, first of all, teach you. I have a whole curriculum with it to teach you that. And then if you need the consulting to be able to walk people through building that team, I actually love making people empowered to be able to do this for
Yeah.
themselves. This
Yeah.
is not something that's going away. We're going to have to know how to tell our stories. For businesses, for university, I have universities as clients. I have small businesses as companies. I have nonprofits as companies. And sometimes I'll come in and just do a workshop. And other times it'll be something where it's I'm working with them throughout the year, making sure that they get it and that they build a system out to be able to maintain it. So, I just meet people where they are. I want people to be empowered, and different people need different things, because sometimes people will have some type of element of marketing, but they're not storytellers. And right now, in this day and time, you need to understand it's past just trying to sell somebody something. You need to understand how to tell the story and understand how to, more importantly, connect with people very authentically.
That's right.
So just meeting individuals and corporations and entities where they are, because I work with with different types of people. It's still my methodology. I just tweak it according to what the needs are, how deep it is that they need help and guidance in that area.
Right. You know what I love? I love the fact that you're already gifted in this. Like, it's clear cut, easy for me to see, doesn't matter. It's just so obvious. But what I also love is, even in your gifting, you've also made it available. You've created a methodology that people can actually follow to get, similar results. You know what I mean? And to your point, I promise y'all, this is the nerdy part of me. This isn't going away. Like, there's so many things that are changing in social media. There's so many things that are going to be locked down because of privacy issues, that there's data that used to be available that's not going to be available anymore. And so how do you still attract people to your business, attract people to what your mission, your movement? It is through telling the stories. Stories go viral. Stories permeate through the stratosphere and the atmosphere. Stories are amazing even when you're in front of an audience. So you'll never be able to get away from stories if you truly want to be a big impactor in this place called life. It's important that you let your light shine. And through the stories, you're able to not only shine, you're able to connect, and you're able to attract people to you. And you don't have to be braggadocious. You don't have to be somebody that you're not. You can just be your authentic self. And by Brandi's methodology, she shows you how your authentic self can be the gift that keeps on giving, based on how you package it, how you position yourself. And all you giants, positioning is like emphatically important. As a giant, if you're trying to be like people to the left and the right of you and blending in when you got something amazing going on, not only are you not serving yourself, you're not serving the people that you can really impact. I don't like when any giants are the best kept secret. What good is that? leverage the tools. You know, there are a lot of different ways to be able to produce your stories, whether you do it yourself, whether you do it and have Brandi do it for you. Go and check out what she has and she's all about. Because this is the time, after everything that we've gone through, that people have more problems than ever before. And the difference is that they know they have the problems because the world stopped and all the problems caught up with them. You know what I mean? All of us, no one's exempt. And so as a giant, the world needs you more than ever. But how do they find you? The visuals are very important. Your messaging is very important. And also making sure that you are that lighthouse for others. And through your documentary, through your branding and telling your story and using videos and using your content and being consistent, this is the way of now and also of the future. So Brandi, I just want to thank you because you made time to like just jump on today, and you don't even understand how busy you are. I love that you made time for us to be in this conversation. Are there any little nuggets that you want to leave us with today?
Yeah, I think, just understand that you don't serve anybody by dimming your light. You just don't.
Right.
You have to show up so that you can be illuminated to the people that you're meant to serve. Yes. And it is again, the word I keep using is non-negotiable. Now is the time. It's no more like, oh, I'm gonna put it off. I'm gonna start in the new year. I'm gonna do that. I know I'll be 50 years old next year. And I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, now it's the time to do everything. Now is the time to play big. Now is the time to show up. We do not, it's like no more time to be wasted sitting on gifts, sitting on messages, sitting on things that we know probably 5 years ago we were supposed to do, right? So I just want
to 10 or 15.
Yeah, I just want to encourage you, like, you are a giant. Giants are meant to be seen.
Yes.
You showing up is a way that you're being illuminated to be able to serve at a greater capacity. So play big, period. Play big.
Awesome. Well, I love it. I think that's a great way to leave it. Play big, y'all. Play big. Brandi, thank you so much, y'all that are listening. Love to hear what you got to say. Has this served you today? Thank you so much, Brandi. Peace out, everyone, and bye for now.